And we're done. So Nintendo Directs are always exciting to watch, especially when you find out that that one game in the Mario series you've been asking for has finally been announced. That's why that one Direct from February 2019 is my favorite. But it's been a while since the last Direct, so hopefully those rumors about July being the month for the next Direct is true. Now these are only rumors, and I of course don't know if these rumors are true or not, but even if they aren't true, it's still kind of fun to try to guess what Nintendo's going to announce next, which is exactly what I'm going to do in this video. Now, Nintendo Directs are usually packed with a ton of new game announcements, and I'm not going to guess all of them, but at least some. And also, these are just my personal guesses, and I'm sure you guys are probably predicting a lot of interesting game announcements too, so feel free to let me know in the comments what you guys would want out of a Direct. But without any more waiting, let's begin. Or, as Nintendo would start it, so to start things off, perhaps maybe we'd get a reveal trailer for maybe Pikmin 4 or something, because I know that game has been highly requested, and plus, for people who's never played a Pikmin game, this would be a better time than ever to give it a shot, so make it happen, Nintendo. Also, I forgot to mention that I'm mainly going to be talking about first-party games, but I'll mention a few third-party games here and there. And as for the second game, which I think will be a third-party, I'm probably thinking Nintendo's going to announce maybe a sequel to Sonic Mania, because everyone said Sonic Mania was awesome, and it did get that Sonic Mania Plus expansion. But I think it'd be neat for them to actually make a brand new game with that game's style, and no, I've never played that game yet, but don't worry Sonic Mania fans, as I'll get to it eventually. And plus, it's been 3 years. I think the timing would be just right for a sequel. Now let's talk Smash Bros. And I know they just recently added the latest DLC character to the new Fighters Pass, but I'm not expecting a new fighter. Instead, it's about the amiibo. It was revealed that amiibo were going to be made for the DLC fighters, which you know what that means. Banjo-Kazooie amiibo. However, I'm actually expecting to get a release date for at least 3 amiibo fighters for Smash Ultimate, which would actually be kinda cool, but if that isn't the case and we only get Joker and Hero, then that's fine. I could wait a little bit longer for the Banjo amiibo. I hope. Now this is something Nintendo's probably not going to reveal in the middle of the Direct, if there even is one, but it would be so damn cool if they actually gave us some new info on the sequel to Breath of the Wild, which is something we haven't heard about from Nintendo since E3 2019. But who knows, this game could still be under development, and it could even take until 2021 for this game to come out, which, you know, it's no fun to wait, but I mean, if they have to spend as much time perfecting the game as possible, then I can definitely wait. Now about Switch Online, and no, it's not about the Nintendo 64 games coming to the service, as much as I'd love that, but it's about maybe getting a new special offer, sort of like an online-only game. Let me tell you, Tetris 99 is quite honestly one of my favorite parts of Nintendo Switch Online, and if we get something kind of like that, I'd be very happy. I'm also a fan of the 7-day free trial period for the service where a randomly selected Nintendo Switch game becomes playable for free for 7 days, and maybe doing that here with a game like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe would be great. Now, the next announcement simply needs to be a Wii U port of Super Mario 3D World. Literally almost every one of the Wii U's best games have been ported over to the Nintendo Switch, and if they're not ports, they're sequels. But Super Mario 3D World doesn't need a sequel. The game itself just deserves a second chance on a console that's more successful. Maybe with some new content like new levels, which by the way, there was another rumor earlier in the year about 3D World coming to the Switch with new levels, and that would be pretty neat for the many people who never owned a Wii U. And plus, 3D World is probably the best choice for another Wii U port, so it only makes sense for this game to actually come to the system. Although there are some levels in the game that has you using the gamepad's touchscreen and blowing into the microphone, so I'd be curious to know how Nintendo would tweak that. Now, as for another third-party game, I'm not really all that sure what to expect. There's a ton of third-party games for the Switch, some of which I've never even heard of before. But there's also a ton of other games that could still come to the Switch. Maybe we're probably going to see another RPG made by Square, or maybe Just Dance 2021 from Ubisoft. There's a ton of third-party games, okay? But who knows? Maybe I could be wrong, and Nintendo could probably announce a third-party game that's completely different from what I'm actually thinking about. Although, there's probably going to be a lot more third-party games in the actual Direct, if there even is one, I hope. Now we finally move on to the last announcement of the day, the mother of all announcements. We're probably going to get a remake of Super Smash Bros. 64 as the final announcement. I mean, come on, Smash 64 has the biggest roster ever, the best graphics, music, controls, and gameplay, and the best adventure mode. How could you not want a remake of this amazing game instead of Ultimate? Okay, I was only kidding. Smash Ultimate is actually everything I said Smash 64 was, and even though Smash 64 is great, I think Ultimate dwarfs this game in pretty much every way. But obviously, Smash Bros. Isn't what the announcement is. I was actually referring to a remake of Super Mario 64, Sunshine, and Galaxy. This would actually be a dream come true if we got remakes of all three games, and believe it or not, this is also a rumor too. Yes, another rumor. But the thing is, for 64, they wouldn't even need to do all that much. Just update the visuals maybe, add 1 or 2 more stars or something, like in a new secret level or something, because that would actually be kind of cool. And also, please bring back that wacky menu where you could grab Mario's face and make it look like something hilarious. Now, Sunshine's probably the game that needs the most improvements out of the three. Not because the game is bad, but because it has a few minor issues that could definitely use improvements. For one thing, fix the blue coins. At first I was thinking completely remove them, but then they'd have to add new Shine Sprite missions to the levels, so I'm just gonna say make it easier to keep track of how many blue coins you got out of the total in that world. That would honestly make life so much easier and make collecting all those blue coins a hell of a lot more manageable. And as for the voice acting, I think the voice acting in the original game is perfectly fine, but now some characters in the Mario series like Bowser Jr. sound completely different, so I'd probably just get a different voice actor if I was Nintendo for that one. Now, I'm not actually sure who does the voice acting for Junior, who actually did the voice acting for Junior in Sunshine, but maybe change it to match his voice in the more modern Mario games. Or better yet, maybe just redo all the voice acting. You can keep the original voice actors for almost all the characters like Mario, Peach, Toadsworth, or something like that. But maybe for Bowser and Bowser Jr., maybe a little bit of it, maybe like tweak it a little bit more. And now we move on to Galaxy, which is actually my favorite 3D Mario game personally. But to be honest, nothing really needs to be changed here other than maybe the visuals and the controls. Because Galaxy is already fantastic the way it is. So that's why Sunshine is probably the only game that needs improvements here. Now, how's Nintendo going to sell these? I think it'd be really cool for Nintendo to do what the Crash and Sane Trilogy did and sell 3 games in one. That seems like a good idea. But if they just decide to sell all these separately, then I guess that's fine too. But for the release, I know September 13th is actually the 35th anniversary of Super Mario Bros. But I think maybe this game is probably going to release closer to the holiday season. I'm not sure why, but it kind of seems like something Nintendo's probably going to do in my opinion. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see. And yeah, that concludes this predictions video for the rumored Nintendo Direct of 2020. I know there wasn't a lot of third-party games, mainly because I can't really think of any, but it was still kind of fun to try and guess what games Nintendo's going to hopefully announce in the rumored Direct that's hopefully going to happen. But hopefully if Nintendo does remake Mario 64, please bring back the ability to stretch out Mario's face. I need to know what this face will look like in HD, okay? But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Let me know what games you want Nintendo to announce in the comments below, and see you next time.